eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Monday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Sean Reed, tracking one more 90-plus degree day ahead of us for tomorrow before we see a brief break as we head through Wednesday, and then the heat returns again, unfortunately, over the weekend. So let's take a live look right now at downtown Utica, where there is still a bit of haze, but it's not, most of that is not from Canadian wildfire smoke. It's just hazy because it's hot outside, but at least it's not humid. That dew point is 51, so that dew point is comfortable, and it's been that way since the weekend as well. That combined with a south-southwesterly wind at 9 miles an hour is actually making it feel a touch cooler, 88. And as I mentioned, the air quality is on the cusp of the moderate category right now, but certainly better than where it was for most of the last week, where it was in the unhealthy for sensitive groups category. So we'll consider that acceptable. Definitely looking a lot better and feeling a lot better than it was last week as well. Temperatures right now, again, in the upper 80s to lower, and in some cases the middle 90s out there on that southwesterly breeze. Most of us not dealing with extremely high dew points right now, upper 40s to lower 50s. So as I mentioned, that's making it feel a tad cooler in many cases, in some cases up toward the north and down toward the south. It actually feels like the low 80s where the temperatures are into the mid 80s. We may have some mid and high level clouds out there right now, but no precipitation coming from those. We're dealing with a dying front moving through Michigan as well. That may throw a few clouds our way during the day tomorrow, but back toward the west of Wisconsin, we're dealing with another cold front, and that'll head our way as we head through Wednesday. As I mentioned, the radar right now looking dry. It's going to remain that way through tomorrow and through the morning hours of Wednesday as well, before we start to see some changes. So we'll have good viewing conditions for the Perseid meteor showers late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Maybe a few clouds during the day tomorrow. Other than that, it's mostly sunny and hot, with a rise in the humidity as opposed to today, where we've got the low dew point values, and they'll be dealing with some of those scattered showers and storms coming in late Wednesday morning into the early afternoon. So the Perseid meteor showers being until August 24th, but they'll peak tomorrow morning with the best viewing just before dawn. And look toward the constellation Perseus with 150 shooting stars per hour, although you'll only be able to see about 10% of those because of the moonlight. Temperatures tomorrow within a couple of degrees of where they were today, upper 80s to lower 90s. However, there will be more humidity tomorrow, and that means dew points will be between 65 and 70, so add on a degree or two, maybe 3 tomorrow as opposed to today. We're actually subtracting a couple of degrees. As we go through Wednesday, we'll be dealing with a cold front moving through with scattered storms late morning into the early afternoon. And then Thursday and Friday are briefly cooler, lower to middle 80s with less humidity, but then the humidity comes up over the weekend, and so does the heat. Thomas, back to you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
Good evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Sean Reed, tracking one more 90-plus degree day ahead of us before we get a bit of a break toward the midweek and the end of the week as well. So let's take a live look right now from downtown Utica, where currently it is 71 degrees. Dew point is at 58. The dew point has been fairly comfortable through most of the day. It's actually come up just within the last couple of hours. We do have a calm wind, though, out there right now. And unlike most of the last week, the air quality out there is good, so little to no health risk out there, with the AQIs anywhere from about 0 to 50. We're in the upper 40s out there right now, so that's acceptable. Most of the last week we were in this slightly unhealthy category with AQIs between 100 and 101 and 150. Right now, most of us in the valley and in Oneida County are into the lower 70s, but you go down toward the south and up toward the north, we've got temperatures already in the middle and upper 60s, and I expect most of us to be into the lower and middle 60s before the night is through under mainly clear skies. I'll tell you why that's important coming up in just a second. Dew points have also come up in the last couple of hours, most of us into the lower and middle 50s, but still rather refreshing, rather comfortable. And those heat index values, obviously not much different from the temperature out there right now because there isn't much moisture. As we look off toward the west, we're dealing with a dying cold front making its way through southern Ontario right now. Not much precipitation associated with it other than just some cloud cover, and that's going to head our way during the day tomorrow. No precipitation, obviously, for us either, but maybe a few mid and high level clouds, and then we've got another one behind that. That's toward Minnesota and Wisconsin right now, and that'll be ours as we head through Wednesday. So you're just seeing some ground clutter on the radar. Things obviously dry and mainly cloud free out there, and it's going to remain that way through most of the night, so that means good viewing conditions for the Perseid meteor shower. Temperatures tomorrow into the upper 80s and low 90s once again. However, there will be more humidity, so you'll definitely add on about 2 or 3 degrees for those heat index values tomorrow, and then we'll be dealing with storms late morning morning into the early afternoon on Wednesday, with even more humidity before that comes through. So we're dealing with the Perseid meteor showers now through August 24th, but they peak technically tomorrow night, but you'll also be able to see them tonight as well. The best viewing is just before dawn, and sunrise tomorrow morning is at 6:06, so give it about an hour before that, and you'll be able to see them looking toward the constellation Perseus, and there will be about 150 shooting stars per hour. You'll only be able to see about 10 to 20 of them, though, because most of the smaller ones will be dimmed by the moonlight. Tomorrow, with a southwesterly wind, we'll have high temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Today was the 9th day of 90-plus degree temperatures, and tomorrow will be the 10th, and we'll have humidity values, dew point values around 65, meaning temperatures themselves will be about 2 to 4 degrees warmer than the actual air temperatures for those heat index values. Wednesday, we're a little bit cooler, but still also humid before that front moves through. And then in its wake, Thursday and Friday, we'll have temperatures into the lower and middle 80s with the mix of sun and clouds. Thomas, back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. The first weekend of...
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Monday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking one more 90-plus degree day ahead of us for tomorrow before we see a bit of a break toward the middle and later part of the week. Right now in downtown Utica, currently 72 degrees. That temperature has actually come up 1 degree since the 10 o'clock hour, but it'll slide back down during the overnight. So has the dew point, 55. It was 58 last hour. The winds are also up a little bit out of the east at 3 miles an hour at this time. The good news is that air quality is certainly looking much better. It was in the moderate, borderline moderate category for most of the day. Now we're in the upper 40s for those AQI, which means that air quality is good, unlike most of last week where we had slightly unhealthy AQIs between 101 and 150. So temperatures right now across Oneida County and for most of the valley are into the lower and middle 70s, but down toward the south and up toward the north, we've got temperatures in the middle and upper 60s, and that's where most of us will be under mainly clear skies during the overnight hours. The dew points are right around 55 degrees for most of us, and they'll come up during the day tomorrow. So unlike the last couple of days where it's just been hot, tomorrow will be hot and somewhat humid, and the humidity will come up even more so as we head through Wednesday before the front moves through. Heat index values, I'm not too concerned about those right now. It's similar to where the temperatures are at this time, but the heat index values, unlike the last couple of days where because of the dew point they've actually been cooler, tomorrow they will definitely be much higher. We have a dying cold front making its way through Ohio as well as southern Ontario right now, and that'll throw a few clouds our way during the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow, but no precipitation associated with it. It's this front that's making its way through Chicago, Wisconsin, that will move our way on Wednesday, and that'll bring a break to the 90-plus degree here. Here, closer to home, we've got a dry radar other than just some ground clutter that's being detected at this time, and Futurecast keeps things dry during the overnight hours for the Perseid meteor showers, and it'll be dry again during the day tomorrow, but we'll see some clouds, especially late in the day, mid and high-level clouds. There could be a few showers tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, but by far the bulk of the rain moves through Wednesday late morning into the early to mid-afternoon. So as far as those Perseid meteor showers, they've been with us since July 17th and will continue to be with us through August 24th, but they'll peak technically tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, but the best viewing tomorrow morning will be just before dawn. So look toward the constellation Perseus. You could see up to 150 shooting stars per hour. However, only about 10 to 20 of those will be visible per hour because most of the smaller ones will be blocked out by the moonlight, but still something cool to see if you're up late tonight, early tomorrow. Temperatures tomorrow with a southwesterly wind around 5 to 10 miles an hour, making their way into the upper 80s and lower 90s. However, as I mentioned, unlike the last couple of days, we'll see dew point values, measure of how much moisture is in the air, right around 65 degrees. So that means the heat index values will actually be anywhere from 2 to 4 degrees warmer than the actual air temperatures, and we'll have even more of that humidity as we go through Wednesday, but Wednesday we'll see temperatures in the middle and upper 80s with those storms moving through again late morning into the early afternoon, and then in its wake we'll see sun and clouds Thursday and Friday with highs in the low to mid 80s, but the 90-plus degree temperatures come back under mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Thomas, back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Coming